Good morning. Guess who's bright-eyed and bushy-tailed this morning? Definitely bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I needed a ride to get my truck. Well, my box truck. Didn't quite make it home last night. Guess it blew another fuel line. We tend to blow these fuel lines on this F650. There's a 5.9 Cummins in it, and for some reason these fuel lines, they like to wear out. I think we replaced them all once, and now we're going on the second time. So nothing wrong with the engine. It's just it breaks down. Sometimes it breaks down. So here's the plan. Ralph's gonna meet me over there in Hubbard at the Truck World. We're gonna get the syrup off the back of the box truck onto Gertrude. Then we're gonna take Gertie to the plant, unload the syrup, and then Gertie goes back to Joe's because I think we're leaving the. We're gonna need to get it back to Joe's. So that's the plan. Ralph's going in the morning here. He's gonna pick up Gertie, and then he's going to come get me because Ralph has my pickup truck, and that's why, bing, my hero this morning. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Right there. There's a bushy tail. There is a camera on you all morning. Listen, this never happens, and if I don't film this, my wife won't believe me, but someone recognized me at Dunkin' Donuts.
Yep.
So this is Toby. You make syrup.
I do.
How many taps you got?
About 220.
220. You're going to be moving to property in Greenville.
Yes.
Runs a 2x8 and homemade RO.
Yes. 2 4x40. Or it's a 2-post 4x40.
What are you using for a pump?
1 3/4 horsepower tied to a Procon.
That's what's pushing it through the membrane?
Yeah.
Gotcha. I love this.
275 PSI or so.
So who you got with you today?
This is Waylon and
Waylon?
Abigail.
Abigail, I saw you climb up on that chair all by yourself.
She's dedicated herself as the official maple syrup taste tester.
Are you the maple taste
At
tester?
our sugar shack.
I like it. She's not quite awake yet.
No.
It's early.
But she's one of those kids that's spoiled on real maple syrup.
Right? Don't ever change.
When the school serves pancakes, she doesn't eat them.
That's awesome. Yeah, you can't eat the fake stuff.
Yeah.
What's your channel called?
Black's Family Farm.
And the most popular videos, what are they?
Solar powered dragon balls for maple syrup.
Okay, so if they search solar powered maple, you're under Black's Family Farm.
Yep.
Is that what it is? Black's Family Farm?
Yep.
Awesome. So he's got a YouTube channel, so I wanted to plug it.
Yeah.
I love it. So I'm waiting on Ralph. He's got it loaded already. Ralph did all the work, as usual. So just relax, that is not organic syrup with the bags of 1919 fertilizer sitting on it. That's conventional. So we're not violating anything there. Okay, syrup's unloaded. Pallet of 1919 on the back of Gertrude here. It'll go down the road. I mean, where's it gonna go? Where's it gonna go? So Ralph and I have been searching for a box truck for about months. And We found one down in Florida we really liked. When I called about it, sold. And what we've been looking for is a tandem axle box truck, a minimum of 26 feet long, lift gate, and then the additional things that I like. I wanted an extended cab. Ralph said that 2 seats is one too many. That if I should just get a tour bus if I want to take people around in a box truck. Ralph likes to get the job done. I like to take people with me, whether it's Benjamin, Dad, one of my other 2 sons. I enjoy doing trips. So one of the cool things is when you're the owner, you get to tour some cool operations. Let me get this thing in gear. Hold on. All right, we're good. So yeah, we found a truck. It's over in Philadelphia. So I'll give you an idea. We were looking at Freightliners, Kenworths, Peterbilts, and Ralph, rightfully so, wanted a Peterbilt. They just don't make box trucks in the weight capacity that we're looking for. So we want to be able to haul 30,000 pounds. Maybe this horn will work. Dino's outside. Hold on. There's Dino. Man, they really cleaned up out back. It looks so nice. So, where was I? Yeah, Peterbilt, Kenworth, all the box trucks. We definitely wanted something with an aluminum cab. We're in Northeast Ohio here, and we get a lot of salt. So what I just did just then was I signed a power of attorney. I'm buying a truck, sight unseen. I don't even have my CDL yet. And we're gonna bring it back from Philadelphia area. Had everything we wanted, and it was about $30,000 less than anybody else. Now it is a 10-speed manual. And what else can I tell you? It's got a 4,400 pound lift gate. It's got everything we wanted, which is great. And buying it sight unseen, because the engine hours, everything. I actually, a friend of mine got me all the paperwork. It was originally a Ryder truck, and then private individuals bought it, ran it. It's only got 87,000 miles, I think. It's like nothing on it's got an 8.9 liter Cummins. So I signed power of attorney over to the company that's helping me finance it, so they can take care of all the paperwork. But I am buying this truck sight unseen. Yeah, sometimes you got to do what you know is right. I'm excited about it. I'm excited to be able to haul more weight. Our current box truck just can't haul. I think 9,500 pounds is our legal limit. With this new truck, we'll be able to haul less payload, 30,000 pounds. That's over 3 times. But excited about it. Should be picking it up later this week or next week sometime. But got to get this fertilizer over to Joe's, and then we're going to move all the equipment over to his place on Overly, so to his farm, and then getting ready to plow and disc. All right, let's go. Pitter patter. So anyways, Joe finished up these fields with the corn, and now we're taking all the equipment over to his farm on Overly Road, and we're gonna plow, disc. He's got drainage tile being put in, so hopefully I get some footage of that. And what else do I have for you? I need to pay attention to these mailboxes, because I could see that being something I would do. Take a mailbox out. As long as it says She-Lats on it, that'd be okay. There's a She-Lats one. So yeah, it looks nice. The fields look nice. And yeah, we're gonna do some corn. More corn and beans. More corn and beans. So, pretty busy day today. Biggest thing was getting the syrup over to Zach and his team so they can blend and package tomorrow. We've got, turn this down a little bit. So we got that done. got the flatbed over to Joe's on Overly, which is where we're headed, and got a power of attorney signed for the mystery truck that we're going to buy, and then had a call about bourbon barrels. I have a little rant about bourbon barrels, and mostly it's around the fact that when we make bourbon barrel aged maple syrup at Bissell Maple Farm, it takes three 53-gallon barrels to make one barrel of bourbon barrel aged maple syrup. And most people are out there trying to figure out how to not use barrels, which I get it. It's due to cost, but they're thinking about it the wrong way. It's more work to do it this way, triple barrel age, but you have buyers for the barrels lined up. And a maple barrel is arguably worth more than a bourbon barrel. So I have some competitors out there making bourbon barrel aged maple syrup, selling it to big box stores, mind you. I don't think they're using barrels. I really don't. And I'm just doing the math, and mostly it's because I'm in the barrel business. And I can ask anyone that moves barrels, ask them, any cooperage, who makes the most bourbon barrels that are mapled, M-A-P-L-E-D, that's what we say, mapled barrels. Who makes the most mapled barrels in the industry? And they'll tell you Bissell Maple Farm. Yet I've got people competing with me. No one's ever seen their barrels. Now, I do think they keep some props around, like, see, these are our barrels. But when you actually do the math, it doesn't add up, right? So let's just say there's 530 and they're each buying a pallet. Let's stay conservative. A pallet, right? You start doing the math, you're like, that's a lot of maple barrels. Somebody should have seen these maple barrels. Because they don't exist. Because I believe, somebody can go ahead and try to prove me wrong, I would love to know. In my opinion, they're just dumping bourbon and maple syrup. And anybody who says they use a barrel over and over again, they're a fraud. Run. That was my rant. We have a fraud, a food fraud issue in this country. Like, one of my favorite stories is the Zander fish. So, it is a European fish that's a member of the walleye family. And a friend of mine told me this story because he got called in to do some inspecting of some restaurants in Cleveland. So this story goes back to Minneapolis. Somebody did a DNA test on some walleye that was being sold in restaurants in Minneapolis. And what happened was they found out it wasn't walleye. They found out it was Zander. And Zander, I believe, is, Z-A-N-D-E-R. It looks like a walleye, tastes like a walleye, but it's not walleye. It is not a freshwater walleye from North America. It is a European, it's cheaper. It's a European fish. So anyways, they tried to figure out how it was getting into the market, and essentially the sales reps from whatever national food purveyor was out there going, hey, I know walleye's a little expensive, but I got this fish. It's from the walleye family. It's cheaper. It's walleye. Look, it tastes like walleye. Taste it. And the sales reps ended up selling it to the restaurants. And somebody got wind of it and basically said, this can't be right. And they all got busted. And then they started looking at every city that this food purveyor was selling this walleye to. So you got this food fraud issue. That's one. I mean, it happens. It happens. And we have it in the maple industry. Half of the maple syrup on the shelf. And this is in Vermont. I mean, you can look up the study. I'll put it right, in the comments below. That I think it was Department of Ag for Vermont. Went into Vermont grocery stores, tested all the syrup for grade, and half of them failed. And it's not that hard to do. When you heat syrup up, put it in a package, it'll darken over time. So you can put it in one grade and it'll be another one over time. That does happen. But if you're a professional packager, you have to account for that. You can't say, well, I put it in at dark amber. I don't understand why it's dark. I mean, you can, because that's pretty much the excuse most people are going to use, and no one really cares. No one cares. The only people that care are farmers. That's it. Nobody cares. The farmers care, but the consumer doesn't have the testing, so the farmers will run around and say, well, this isn't even the right grade. Look at this guy. He doesn't know what he's doing. And then get to my point, which is, if we can't even get maple syrup in a bottle in the right grade, and the regulators don't give a crap, because no one's going to die from the wrong colored maple syrup. No one's ever died from maple syrup, ever. Like, that's why no one really cares. Like, from a regulatory standpoint, the regulators are probably more worried about shellfish, peanut butter, allergens killing somebody. You know, there's a reason that the federal government's in meat packers, like federally inspected meat packagers. Like, there's some serious risk of salmonella. None of that with maple. None of that with honey. So none of that's really an issue with maple. So it's kind of ignored. And think about it. If you're a maple farmer and you frickin' call the Ohio Department of Ag or any Department of Ag for your state on a maple farmer, get a life, man. Like, shame on you. You think that's how people get business? Like, ratting on each other? No. Like, all you sound like to the inspector is, wah!
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world? Guys!
There's a flopper. There's a flopper down there. All right. Seatbelt back on. Here we go. Anyways, where was I? That tire's coming off. Maybe I'll slow down so it doesn't break something. Where was I? What was I talking about? I was on a real good rant. Oh, regulations in maple syrup. Like, maple syrup's safe. So the worst thing that can happen to maple syrup is you don't get up to density and you get a little bit of alcohol will form from fermentation, and the fermentation will convert with acetobacter into vinegar. So if you get maple syrup that's spoiled, it's literally maple vinegar. And nobody wants to taste maple vinegar on their pancakes. Like, you expect something sweet and delicious, and then you bite into it and it's, you know, like a pickle. And that's gross. If you were expecting maple vinegar, you'd say, hey, this is great. You know, it's a little sweet. So that's the worst thing that can happen, is you get maple vinegar in your bottle. And look, it happens. Sometimes the cap and the jug, or the cap and the bottle, they don't seat. The manufacturer of the container is always 99% of the time someone different than the manufacturer of the container and cap, or the closure and container are usually a different manufacturer. With this tire, I gotta focus a little bit more. So yeah, the container and the closure are never really the same company. So you get this, you know, one points at the other. And sometimes they have a problem in manufacturing. You know, a glass bottle and a closure, the cap, are made to tolerances. And sometimes the tolerance of one isn't even, you know, maybe an extreme, and the tolerance of the other one may be at the other extreme. And you don't get a great seat. You know, it doesn't fit. And maple syrup will spoil. It happens. It's not that big a deal. Doesn't taste good. I think that rubber tire there is just protecting the rim. Yeah, so anyways, how can I expect the maple industry to take a stance on fraudulent bourbon barrel aged maple syrup? Heck, most of the maple farmers hate it. They think it's an abomination, which it is. Like, it's not perfect syrup anymore. Like, it is, but it's freaking good. People like it. Maple farmers aren't buying it. I don't care. Like, what maple farmers think of barrel aged maple syrup. They love to tell me what they think, but I really don't care. They think I should, but I really don't. I got some road construction up ahead here, and I'm gonna try to sneak around. I don't know if I'm gonna fit. I tell you what farming does. Makes you more considerate for farmers driving down the road. You do this for a couple weeks, you're gonna think differently about how you travel the roads during planting season. And you should. Fraudulent bourbon barrel aged maple syrup. It's a thing. There's a lot of it out there. I would argue most of it is fraudulent because there's a couple companies making a bunch, and it's terrible. They're putting commercial syrup in there. It's awful. It's horrible. And the buyers, well, you kind of deserve it. Like, you're after cheap and you're getting cheap. And it's the downside is it's hurting the category. Come on. This is a great spot for you to try and pass me. Thank you. Well, that was fun. Tractor chat with Nate. I'm gonna take this rim off. It needs to be done. I need to really practice my fraudulent bourbon barrel aged maple syrup speech. The only one that really cares is me, and probably customers that don't like buying fraudulent product. Like, I can tell you, there's plenty of customers that think the dollars they spend justifies everything. I got it real cheap. And then they'll fight tooth and nail. And I don't think it really will help. Like, proving my competitors don't put maple syrup in oak barrels, what's it gonna do? I'm better off telling a positive story, showing the work on our channel. You guys see us move a portion of the barrels we move. It is a lot of work. So thanks for stopping by. We can definitely tell you that, at least I can tell you from working with Joe, it's a lot of moving equipment around. Like, that's a lot of it. Moving equipment around, fueling up, repairing tires, jump starting batteries. What else? Putting seed and fertilizer in hoppers. Yeah, it's a lot of that. So Joe and I are going to go up to the Mexican place here in Jefferson and grab some dinner. And we'll be probably talking about what we're going to do tomorrow. Get a plan together. But hey, thanks for stopping by. We'll catch you in the next episode. Video, because you can always turn it into a picture.